Okay, so here is the video walkthrough of your paper. So the first question said 21 equals 4x minus 3. So we're writing out that equation, that is an x. The opposite of taking away 3 is adding 3, and we have to do this to both sides because whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. 21 add 3 gives me 24. 4x stays there because we haven't done anything to the 4x. Minus 3 add 3 is nothing, so that's why that's blank. Then I don't want to find out what 4x is, I want to find out what 1x is. So I do 24 divided by 4 and 4x divided by 4 to get rid of that 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6, 4x divided by 4 is x, so x equals 6. Question 2. The table and pictogram give information about drinks ordered in a cafe in one morning. Complete the table and pictogram. Well, what I need to do here is, well, look, Coke and lemonade are filled in both sections. So I can know that this pictogram here represents 60. So I've got 6 drinks is 60. So each of those drawings of a drink is worth 10. So I need to fill in the key that says that one thing is worth 10, which is the first mark. Then I can count. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So there are 80 coffees. 10, 20, 30, and that's half, so that's 35 fresh juices. I then need to complete the pictogram, so there's my second mark, putting in those numbers. To complete the pictogram for the tea and the hot chocolate, 55, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full cups and half of a cup. And then for hot chocolate it's 40, and then there's 4. It's important that you try and space them evenly, and that you try and make them roughly the same size, otherwise you will not get the mark. Question 3 is showing a trapezium. The first one is the area of the trapezium. So the first thing you could do is split it into 2 triangles by drawing a line from the bottom left up to the bottom right. This length here is 2, this one is 5, the height of the trapezium is 4. So triangle 1 has a base of 2 and a height of 4, so I do 2 times 4 divided by 2, which is 4. Triangle 2 has a base of 5 and a height of 4. 5 times 4 divided by 2, which is 10. Then I've got to add the 2 triangles together. 4 plus 10, 14 centimetres squared. Okay, remember to put the units. There was no units given on the answer line, so you must put the units in. The other way, I could use the formula for the area of a trapezium, which is a half times a plus b, close the brackets, times the height. A and B are your parallel sides, so the 2 and the 5. So we've got a half times 2 plus 5 in brackets times 4, because the height is still 4. 2 plus 5 is 7, so it's a half times 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28, so it's a half of 28, which is again 14 centimetres squared. Doesn't matter which method you use, you get the same answer, and you'll get the full marks for that question. B says draw the reflection of the trapezium in the line y equals 5. So the first thing we have to do is put in the line y equals 5, which I've dashed here. The line y equals 5 has to be a straight line that goes through the y coordinate 5. Okay? We then have to reflect it. So we take each corner in turn. This corner is 1 square above my line, my dotted line. So the corresponding corner will be 1 square below, which is there. This corner is also 1 square above and will be 1 square below. This corner is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to go 5 below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's there. And this one is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I draw it there. And then I can't hold a ruler and film at the same time, but you using a ruler would draw these, drawing the lines together. Go to draw the trapezium. Now, yeah, as I said, you should be using a ruler for this, so we're just going to put use a ruler. Okay, let's turn the page. Question 4. We've got some straight lines. Work out the size of angle X, give a reason for your answer. Now a lot of you got this right. You said it's 26. So that's 1 mark. The reason is because vertically, and that's the key word, not, oh, that should be a Y. Opposite angles are equal. Okay, it's key that you have that word vertically, very important. Vertically opposite angles, not just opposite angles. Okay, so I'm just going to label that on my diagrams because I now know that is 26 degrees. Now, work out the size of angle Y, give a reason for your answer. Well, if I look here, I have a straight line. And angles on a straight line add up to 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus 26, which is 154 degrees. So I know that these two angles add up to 154. They're both labelled Y, so they're the same size. So I need to do 154 divided by 2, which is 77 degrees. And if you couldn't do that in your head, then you should be using your calculator. So we know it's 77 degrees, and the reason is angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Important to put your degree sign. Okay. Question 5. A tablet computer costs £139, so that's a key bit of information. It's reduced by 21.6% in the sale. Calculate the new price. So, first of all, I'm going to find 21.6% of 139. Okay, and I'm going to do that on the calculator because it was a calculator paper, doing 21.6 shift and that button to get the percent times 139. Okay, that gives me oh, sorry, I've done 21.3%, so let's get that correct. Let's make sure. 21.6%, there we go, which is 30.20, having a nightmare here, 30.024. Now remember, it's money, so money is always going to be to 2 decimal places, but it's important to write the full answer. So then it's reduced by it. So I've worked out the 21.6%, that's 30.024, but I need to reduce it. So I now need to do 139 minus 30.024. Okay, so on my calculator, 139 minus, I can use my answer button because it will remember it, and I get 108.976. But as I said, it's money. We never see money to 3 decimal places, so we need to round it. So it's £108.98 because the 6 rounds to 7 up to the 8. Okay, it's a calculator paper. Don't try and do this in your head. Use your calculator. Okay, question 6. Use your calculator to work out this. Give your answer to 1 decimal place and 3 significant figures. So let's first of all work out the answer. So in my calculator, I'm going to press the fraction button to get that. Oh no, I'm not actually. I've got a square root. So I'm going to press the square root button and then the fraction button. And I'm going to type in 41.7 minus 6.2 and then 2.15 plus 0.94. So I've typed it in exactly as it looks in the question. I press equals and I'm going to write out all I can see on my calculator display, 3.389494.526. Now to 1 decimal place, so I've got 3.38. Okay, so that's 2 decimal places. The 8 rounds the 3 up, so it is 3.4. 3 significant figures, that means I need 3 digits in the number. Okay, so let's write, but to be able to check that we've rounded it properly, we're going to put 3.389. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, but I need 3 digits, so that 9 will round the 8 up, so it'll be 3.39. Done. Okay. character out the way for now, I don't need that. So the diagram shows a triangle. The perimeter of the triangle is 135. So this plus this plus this equals 135. Okay, is the triangle equilateral, scalene or isosceles? Show your working and give your reason. Okay, so first of all, I know this side is 45, so I'm going to do 135 minus 45, which gives me 90. Again, if you can't do that in your head, use your calculator. So I know that this side plus this side is 90 because I've already taken that 45 away. So I'm going to write out 3x plus 2x plus 15 equals 90. I'm now going to collect my terms. 3x add 2x is 5x. So I've got 5x plus 15 equals 90. I've got an equation I can solve, so I have to subtract 15 from both sides. So I get 5x equals 75. Divide both sides by 5. I get x equals 15. I've now found x. I now need to check. So if x equals 15, 3x equals 3 times 15, which is 45. Again, if you're not sure how to do that in your head, use your calculator. It was a calculator paper. Similarly, for this side, x equals 15, 2x plus 15 is this side. So that is the same as doing 2 times 15 plus 15, which is 30, add 15, which is also 45. So what kind of triangle is it? Well, this one is 45, this one is 45, and this one is 45. So it is equilateral because all sides are equal. Okay, so I've got the right kind of triangle with a reason, and I've shown my working as how I knew that reason was correct. Right, question 8. So it's to do with circles. The radius of the inner circle is 2.2. So this distance here is 2.2. Okay, the radius of the outer circle, so if I go from here to here, it's 2.8. Okay, calculate the area of the path. So the path is the shaded bit. It says give your answer to an appropriate degree of accuracy. Okay, and we're looking for area. So the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So if we do the outer circle first, okay, area is pi times the radius, which is 2.8 squared. Okay, and we type that into the calculator. So pi times 2.8 squared, which gives me 24.63. Okay, so that's the whole radius. Then we need to do the inner circle. Okay, which will be the area is pi times 2.2 squared. Oops, on the calculator, pi times 2.2 squared, which gives me 15.205. I'm only going to write it to 3 decimal places. So the path, so the area of the path is going to be my 24.63 minus my 15.205. Okay, now it's important you use the full, you can write the rounded ones. Okay, I'm just going to put that's 2 decimal places, so I tell the examiner that's 3 decimal places, so they know that I've rounded. Okay, and then I do that. So I'm going to do the calculation again so that I get the full digit. So it's that take away pi times 2.2 squared, so I don't get any rounding error, which gives me, oh, the light's shining on that funny, There you go. 9.425 to 3 decimal places. Now, what is important here? It says to an appropriate degree of accuracy. The question, they've given it to 1 decimal place. So my answer, my final answer, should be 9.4 meters squared to 1 decimal place. So when they say that appropriate degree of accuracy, always go to the same number of decimal places as they give you in the question. So I've gone to 1. Okay. Work out the size, so this is question 9. Work out the size of the interior angle of a regular 12-sided polygon. So there is a formula for this. We have to do, so we have n equals the number of sides, just so you know what the formula is. Okay, so the angle, so we've got to do 180 times n minus 2 divided by n, and that will give us 1 interior angle. So n is 12 in this case, I'm going to write n equals 12. So I've got to do 180 times by 12 minus 2 divided by 12. And like with it again, it's calculator paper, so we're going to use the fraction button. 180 times 12 minus 2, that's 1, 2, okay, divided by 12, 150. So it's 150 degrees. Why are there no regular polygons with an interior angle of 153? Well, what is important to know is that an exterior plus an interior equals 180 degrees, and the sum of your exterior angles, this is obviously, equals 360 degrees. So if my interior angle is 153, the exterior equals 180 minus 153. Okay, so 180 on my calculator. Okay, that's 27 degrees. Now, if all of my exterior angles have to add up to 360, which is this fact here, then I can see, then if I do 360 divided by 27, that tells me the number of sides. So number of sides equals 360 divided by 27. So let's do that. 360 divided by 27. I get 13.3 recurring. Now note there's the little dot there. Now, can a shape have a decimal number of sides? No. So you say, because a shape can't have a decimal number of sides. There you go. Sorted. Right, the pie chart. So there are 30 students in school A, so I'm going to write 30 here, and there are 60 students in school B. I'm going to write 60 here, so it makes it easier to pick out. So in school A, how many students were born in America? So America is 30%, so I need to find 30% of 30. Okay, so again on my calculator, if I wasn't sure how to do this in my head, I can do 30% times 30, which gives me 9. So there were 9 students. Make that clear. 9, there we go. 9 students born in America. Compare the numbers and percentages of students born in Asia. So if we look at Asia, school A has 20%, 17%. So school A has a greater percentage of students born in Asia. Okay. Now, it says, so we've done the percentages, so we can tick that off. And now I need to look at the numbers. So, I need to find 20% of 30. So I'm just going to do this at the top because I can use my calculator of 30. Okay. So, again, 20, shift and that button to get percent, times 30. which is 6, so that's 6. And then school B is 17%, so I need to do 17% of 60. Okay, because remember school B has 60, so again, I'm going to do 17% times 60, okay, which is 10.2. But we can't have 10 people, so we're going to round that up to 10, or round that down to 10, sorry. Okay, so we compare the percentages. However, school A has a fewer number of students than school B. Okay, now it's important you've shown the percentages with the numbers so the examiners can see you've done the maths behind it and written the description. Okay, right. Question 11. Glass balls are made from molten glass. A ball with a radius of 4.9 centimetres has a volume in centimetres squared given by this formula. Estimate the volume of one glass ball. When we estimate, we round to one significant figure. So 4 stays as 4. 3.14 goes to 3. 4.9 goes to 5. And 3 stays as 3. So then, on your calculator, we're doing 4 times 3 times 5 cubed divided by 3. It's an estimate, so they should all be whole numbers. So again, using the fraction button, 4 times 3 times 5 cubed divided by 3, you get 500. There's my estimate. Right, use a calculator to work out the volume of one glass ball to the nearest centimetre cubed. So now what we need to do is work it out exactly. So using the calculator, so 4 times 3.14 times 4.9 cubed divided by 3. Okay, and I'm going to write out the whole number. 492.557147. But I need to round to the nearest centimetre. So the nearest centimetre is this digit here. The 5 will round it up, so it becomes 493 centimetres cubed. Then it says, estimate the number of balls that can be made from 2 litres of molten glass. Well, 2 litres, that's an L, is the same as 2,000 centimetres cubed. Well, it's an estimate, so we're going to use our digit from up here. So we need to do 2,000 divided by 500, which hopefully you can do without a calculator, but use one if you can't, and it is 4. Right, almost there. Question 12. A, B and C are mutually exclusive. What that means is they don't happen at the same time. A is a quarter, A or B is a third, and C is a fifth. Calculate the probability of B. Okay, so the probability A or